name is Natalie. I'm a violence prevention educator, and today we're going to talk about self-esteem. Now, self-esteem is how much you value yourself. It's how important you think you are. It's not bragging about yourself or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's just realizing that you are worthy of being accepted and that no one is perfect, but we all need to believe that we are special. Now, self-esteem is important because it allows you to hold your head up high. It gives you the courage to try new things. Having high self-esteem helps you make good choices. You're less likely to follow the crowd or make poor decisions when you feel comfortable in yourself and you know that you're valuable and important. Having high self-esteem will allow you to make your own decisions. So we have this nice chart over here, and this is high self-esteem, and this is low self-esteem. So this is about a 1 in self-esteem, and this is about a 10 in self-esteem, okay? We want everyone's self-esteem to be in this realm, okay? When your self-esteem is really low, it can have unfortunate consequences. For example, someone with low self-esteem, they probably won't live up to their potential. They'll probably be less ambitious. We tend to see they'll be more depressed. They will be pretty critical. So someone with low self-esteem, they tend to judge themselves very, very harshly. So they're basically walking around with a judge in their head telling them that what they've done is garbage, or just that they can't do anything right, or they never do anything right. They tend to be withdrawn. Maybe they think that they don't deserve friends, or they believe like no one would want to be their friend. Now, on the other side of this, high self-esteem, we have somebody who's confident. They're very sure of themselves. They're pretty excited. They're happy. They tend to be assertive. So if somebody does something that they don't appreciate, they will speak up immediately. They tend to be the ones that will go ask their teachers or coaches, how do I improve? How do I get better? Or I felt what you did was unfair. So they tend to be more assertive. They will let you know if you've wronged them. Now, they're not lower self-esteem. They tend to be more aggressive. So they might get in someone's face or like, how dare you wrong me, and just scream at them. Where assertive, they can have a conversation about it. Or they tend to be passive. They might let bad things happen to them because they feel like they deserve it. Or they let people talk negative to them and they don't stand up for their boundaries, probably because they don't think they deserve it. And we don't want that. They tend to be motivated, ambitious, outgoing. I'll give you an example. So, low self-esteem, I love Winnie the Pooh, okay? Alright, so if we're thinking about the characters on Winnie the Pooh, maybe the low self-esteem end, we have Eeyore, okay? Love Eeyore. Now, just because someone has low self-esteem doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with them. It doesn't mean that they hurt others or anything like that. But when we look at Eeyore, we realize like he's still a really good friend and he still cares about others. He doesn't see himself as the valuable Eeyore he is. Something's wrong with his tail, or his house isn't right, and it does lead him to be a little bit more sad than his other friends, but he's still a wonderful, beautiful Eeyore, and we love him, right? Okay? But he just doesn't see how wonderful he is. Now, the other side of this, we have the phenomenal Tigger, okay? They're both phenomenal, but Tigger, I want everyone to be a Tigger, because Tigger goes like, the wonderful thing about me is I'm the only one. I want everyone to do that. I want everyone to be like, the wonderful thing about me is I'm the only one, okay? Recognize your value, recognize your awesomeness. So with Tigger, he is a fantastic bouncer, right? He loves to bounce. He does a great job at it. But instead of being in your face about it, like I'm all better than you, or like I bounce so great, he goes to his friends and he wants them to experience the same joy he has for bouncing. So he tries to get them to bounce. And he has so much confidence about bouncing. He's teaching others how to bounce. He's like, let's go bouncing, everyone, okay? So he knows what he's passionate about. He knows his gifts. He's in this 10 realm where he knows what he's good at. And even though it does get him in trouble and he gets stuck in a tree and he needs his friends to help him out, he's pretty forgiving of himself, and he knows the wonderful thing about me is I'm the only one. I want everyone to be a Tigger. Repeat back, and I don't even know. Like, stop this right now. Press pause. Run to the bathroom, look in the mirror, and be like, the wonderful thing about me is I'm the only one. And then repeat that at least 3 times, because you got to repeat something at least 3 times to get it in your head. Okay? So we want people to realize you're valuable, you're important, you have worth. And Tigger does. That's why he's my example. While I love both characters equally, I just put like everyone can relate to both of these characters, whether they have lower self-esteem or they have higher self-esteem. Now, we first get our self-esteem when we're little. So I'm going to talk about how we get our self-esteem and what happens to it. So, this is the fun part. I'm so excited to share with you. Everyone is born with a full bucket of self-esteem, all right? Like when you're a baby, you might not remember. I don't think your memories start until about 1.5 or 2. But either way, you were born with a full bucket of self-esteem because you came out and you were kicking and screaming like, people wait on me, get me food, right? And like, you were feeling pretty good, okay? So then after a while though, like, it's fun because when you first take a couple steps and you fall down, everyone's like, woo, you took 2 steps, all right? Right now, if you took 2 steps and fell down, people wouldn't give that response. But when you're a baby and like, woo, I took 2 steps, right? You're super excited. So you have this full bucket of self-esteem. Okay. After a while, things happen in life that put holes in those buckets. So this is where we get to the sad part. Let's see, born with a full bucket of self-esteem. And after a while, things were good. But then they went to preschool, okay? And there was the biter, okay? You had to go to preschool every day and face the biter. And he was mean, and he would bite you and leave teeth marks, okay? So that puts a hole in your bucket, right? And that doesn't make preschool great. Then you go to kindergarten, and they make fun of you because of the way, like, you wear dresses all the time, and you wear frilly socks, okay? So you get made fun of, all right. And then you get into, like, 5th or 6th grade, worst years for bullying, typically 7th and 8th as well, but 6th grade tends to be the worst. So you get that nice little, like, hole right there. It could be other stuff, like you try out for a sport you really enjoy and you don't make it. It could be something like from someone, your best friend decides they don't want to be your best friend anymore. All right, maybe that should be a bigger hole, right? So, it could be a trauma. Okay, so like, oh, not great. You get to 5th grade, right? Your teacher tells you every day that you're stupid, that you're garbage, that you don't matter. And then they tell you you're a horrible drawer, okay? And you're like, oh, great, okay. And then after a while, it just keeps going down. You find out, like, you're not great at math and you're not good at sports you like, okay? So is my bucket like it was when I was first born? No, for sure, right? So, it's probably not full anymore. Keeps going, different things, all right? So the first thing I need to do is recognize I need to develop resiliency. Now, resiliency is what we have that helps us bounce back after life pounds us down. So, I'm going to grab my resiliency pen. We'll use this one, it's really pretty. So, I'm going to put a force field around my bucket. Now, there are different ways to do this. Sometimes with support and help from other people, you can develop your resiliency bucket, but you have to do that. So, some of the things that I use, again, and I use these all the time. Eleanor Roosevelt's quote, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent, so no one can make you feel like garbage without your okay. And then the other one that I use, and I don't know who to credit right off the top of my head, I wish I did, but what you think about me is none of my business. So then I'm like, okay, I've got that, so I can send out the negative but let in the positive, okay? When we're in preschool, we're taught the nursery rhyme, sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And then we get less wordy with it as we go into second grade, I think. It was like, I'm rubber, you're glue, whatever you say bounces off me and sticks to you. And so, like, that's the same way. So I'm taking the negative and I'm pushing it out, but I will accept in the positive. So now that I've dealt with my resiliency, I'm protecting my bucket, I have got to do some stuff to help protect my bucket. So Judy Ford is who I need to credit with what you think about me is none of my business. Brilliant, okay? So I need to bring in this stuff to help my bucket. So positives, the good stuff. So I got a compliment every day from someone, like telling me that I was valuable, telling me that they cared about me, okay? So that helped patch a hole in my bucket. All right, from my bullying, the trauma, okay, maybe you need some therapy. Maybe you have to go get some help with that. Like, therapy is wonderful and really helpful. And then you made a new best friend and they were awesome, okay? And they just brought joy. You found a passion, something you're good at, right? Like you found a true sport, you found a true friend, you got an A on your math test, okay? So we're looking at this, and after some time, some healing, some self-care, like encountered people that support you and uplift you and make you feel great. You found subjects you're good at. And after a while, so my bucket is never going to look the same as it did when I was first born. But again, it doesn't have all the holes in it. It's been patched over. I still have some holes in my bucket. That's probably normal. I'm going to have to work through this all life, right? So learning to patch your bucket, building your resiliency, understanding how to increase your self-esteem on your own. So to protect my bucket, build up patches, what I need to do is I need to expand my comfort zone. So I need to try new things. Maybe try a new sport, try a new activity, talk to new people, take risks. So take small enough risks that you will likely succeed, but that should help you grow into larger risks. Accept yourself no matter what shape, size, or color you are. Do the same of others. Accept yourself. Know that you are worthy of being loved, and invest time in yourself. So find out what you're good at, try new things. Again, you're going to try things and you might not be good at them, but there's always room for improvement. Compliment yourself. So this is really important. Again, I told you to pause and go tell you the wonderful thing about you is you're the only one. So every day, give yourself at least 3 compliments. So if you can, if you don't like anything about who you are, find just one thing you like about yourself. Find one thing you like about your face or your body, something that no one can take away from you that you can hold on to, whether it's that you have beautiful eyes or that you have a radiant smile, okay? Or great teeth or fantastic lips. I don't know. Find one thing that you like about yourself that no one can take away from you and hold on to that. The next time you make a mistake, be forgiving of yourself. I know it's really hard. I do. It's a struggle, but just recognize. Be gentle. How would you treat a stranger who did the same thing? Would you be like, oh, it's okay? Instead of oh, you're garbage and putting another hole in your bucket. Okay, don't do that. Empower yourself, build your inner strength, and believe in yourself. So that might also take some work, learning how to believe in yourself and gaining that inner strength. Avoid self-sabotaging behaviors like setting unrealistic goals, or if you're involved in a type of destructive behavior, ask for help and challenge yourself to overcome your fears. So there is consequences to having low self-esteem, you may not go after things that you're passionate about. You might miss out on doing things, but then there are more devastating ones like self-harm, depression, eating disorders, dropping out of school, dropping out of activities that you love. And it can escalate from there, but not caring what happens to you. We want you to understand that you are worthy, that you are valued. When you're down here, you don't recognize your worth. You could settle for unhealthy relationships or unhealthy friendships, just different things, because you don't think that you deserve better, so you settle for friends that aren't true friends. So challenge yourself to overcome your fears, build on your self-esteem, build on how fantastic you are. It's important to know you're valuable. It's important to know that you have worth. The next part of this is changing when you hear negative things in your head. Mentally tell yourself to stop. So we hear negative things a lot, and then they have huge impacts on us, okay? So if somebody says something negative, we hold on to that more than we would if it was something positive, because the negative goes in, it sticks to a heavy feeling, and then it's all we can feel. But when we hear something positive, we're like, oh, that's cool. But then it's not that heavy feeling that sets in, so it's not there permanently. And when somebody says something negative to you over and over and over, you can start to believe it. So when you hear you're stupid, you're garbage, you're not worth it, that can become a tape recorder in your mind. So you have to build a stronger voice inside your head to handle those negative. Now, there's a difference between criticism, feedback, and that type of verbal and emotional abuse or harassment or belittling. So build up that positive voice in your head that tells you you're valuable, you're worth it, you're intelligent, you're brilliant, you are gifted. All right? So it's never too late to change how you feel about yourself. Now, your self-esteem probably won't be at a 10 all the time. It may go up and down. We're just looking that people stay between the 5 and 10. So whether that is um, developing that strong, valuable, um, positive reinforcement inside your head telling you that you're valuable, that you are worthy, that you are wonderful. And fixing your bucket, developing your resiliency. It doesn't matter what you've been through. Your past doesn't determine your value, and what you've been through only makes you stronger. So as you develop this, we can get into this, and it's just build upon your strengths. Okay, so develop those strengths, develop your passions, your gifts. This goes back to just those things like 3 compliments every day. Look in a mirror, tell yourself how great you are, the wonderful things you do. I'm asking for 3. This will build up your self-esteem. Love yourself no matter what shape or size you are, no matter what you look like. There is beauty in everyone. And we go through ups and downs with everything. Invest time in yourself. When you hear negative thoughts in your head, mentally tell yourself to stop and build up that positive voice. And then invest time in yourself. Treat yourself. You're worth it. Thank you so much for tuning in to Self Esteem. I appreciate you so much, and you are awesome. Have a great day. Don't forget, if you liked this, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate you.